This interview is being brought to you by BabyFightGear.com. Baby Fight Gear is dedicated to providing a single source for children's mixed martial arts. Inspired clothing, the softer side of tough sports. Our clothing is available in sizes newborn to toddler. Okay guys, we're being joined by Tim Kennedy now. How's it going, man?
It's going very well.
Good stuff. The fight with Rockhold didn't go as planned.
Man, that's like really gray area. It actually went as planned. I did like what I was supposed to, but what I was supposed to do, I didn't do well enough. I came out of the fight without a mark on my body. I lost whatever 2 rounds to 3 or 4 rounds to 1, and that's what happens when you fight to game plan. So I'm kind of going back to my roots of fighting to fight and not fighting to win. A little old school.
So, as you said, no major injuries, barely were touched?
No, there was not a mark on my whole entire body. Not a bruise, not a... like, you couldn't tell that I was in a fight, let alone a 25-minute title fight. It's kind of embarrassing. I was like, so you lost? Yeah, I lost. Well, you don't look like you lost. What happened? And I was like, I guess I just suck.
Yeah, he was looking a little rougher than you were, that's for sure.
Yeah, but there's been fights that I've won that I've looked way worse, but, he got stitches and couldn't walk, whereas, but he looks, the way he fights just looks great for judges. The way I fight, I don't sustain much damage, but, doesn't look good to judges, evidently.
Okay, man. Yesterday there was an announcement that your next fight will be November 3rd against Trevor Smith. Are you surprised with this fight?
No. I'm excited I got to fight so soon. I definitely didn't want to sit on the shelf for a while, so I'm excited that I'm fighting quickly. And, it surprised the opponent. I was hoping for, Hodge Gracie or Lawrence Larkin or, somebody else that was on that card.
Right.
But, Lorenz is fighting Luke, of course, and I'll take whoever they give me. And, I'm not going to turn down a fight. I'm not a guy to turn down a fight, so I was just, my answer is yes.
Trevor's the guy that we have on the show quite a bit. He's a good guy, but I personally am pretty shocked by this. He got TKO'd in the first round in his last Strikeforce fight, and now he gets Tim Kennedy.
Yep. It's hard to find some tape on it. He's tough, but he has a lot of strengths, and I think I got a lot of ways. He has a lot of weaknesses I'm gonna be able to exploit. He looks like a super cool guy. I've met him a few times. It's fighting. It's a business, and I love fighting. I hate fighting guys I like, but I'll fight whoever they make me fight.
Okay, so my next question for you was going to be, is this a fight that motivates you? But I take it any fight's going to motivate you.
Yeah, I'll just I'll give you an example of how pathetically competitive I am. My sister-in-law, she'll get on to play Call of Duty with my best friend, and she sucks. And I don't want to play with her because we don't win, but it's my sister-in-law. I should totally be a good big person, but I'm so competitive, even something so inconsequential as a video game, so minuscule and irrelevant. I just I have to win. So it could be I was fighting, anyways. No, it doesn't matter who I'm fighting. I'm always motivated. I'm a guy that always trains, and now that I have a date and an opponent, now I just go ballistic.
Okay, man, let's talk a little bit of Luke Rockhold versus Lorenz Larkin. It's going down on the same card you're on. And if you were in Lorenz's corner, what would you tell him? How does he win this fight?
Well, I really the guy to talk to. I just lost to him.
Right. Nice.
No, I think, I'm going to be honest, I'm just a straight shooter. I think Lorenz has the tools to beat Luke. It's a way more dangerous fight than any, than Jacare, and definitely than Hodger. in this fight, Lorenz's best chance is, the striker's chance. He needs to outbox him, and he needs to get inside the range and do damage when he gets inside. Because Luke is so long and he's so tall, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of closing the distance to get on the inside, which I did, just not often enough. And then once I got there, I said, like I said in the beginning of the interview, I was like, I did all the things I was supposed to do. I just didn't do them good enough. I got inside like I was supposed to. And then once I was there, I never did as much damage as I needed to win over the judges or to win the fight. So when Lorenz gets inside of his striking range, which is going to be 4 or 5 inches less than Luke's, he needs to make sure that once he's there, he stays there, and he doesn't bounce back out. Once he gets in there, he starts cutting angles to do damage. So, pressure, explosive pressure, and then once you're inside, always look to finish.
What's your take on this whole John Jones UFC 151 cancellation?
I think it's pathetic. That the blame was put on John. It was a weak card. The only fight on that card was John. It's sellable. Don't misinterpret me here. I loved all the fighters on that card.
Right.
The fights that were sellable that people wanted to pay pay-per-view for weren't there. That's not John's fault. And then John's opponent gets injured. Again, not John's fault. And then they give him a different opponent that's stylistically completely different, that might have had even 2 to 3 weeks notice on the fight. Again, not John's fault. And then they're like, oh, it's John's fault. I was like, what? How did this become John's fault when he's done everything he's supposed to do? UFC was weak in building a weak card with not sellable supporting cast members. His opponent gets injured. It's just toilet. It was unfair to John. He didn't explain himself adequately. I think, if there's any fault, it would have been like, hey guys, I respect people that are doing that. I mean, but I'm a champion, and I want to demonstrate that I deserve to be the champion. I'm going to stay the champion, and this wasn't my fault. I want to fight the best in the world, but I want to give you the fights that you're paying for, and the fight that you deserve. And a change of opponent 8 days notice is not what I think you deserve.
Do you think sometimes, like you said, he didn't explain himself well? Do you think sometimes he needs some better public relations?
Yeah, he's when you're up on top, everybody's looking up and criticizing everything that you do, and he gets the most criticism from anybody out there, and should he not be in front of a camera? He's a well-spoken, smart guy, but maybe he should get somebody to, I don't know,
Right, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I hate it when somebody comes up there, and like when Anderson Silva's translator, manager, gets up there.
Yeah.
Like, so, what do you think about the fight? And Anderson goes on for like 5 minutes. He's like, and then his manager's like, he liked the fight. He's like, that's not what he said. That's totally not the right answer.
Yeah.
So, I've made a lot of mistakes, doing media stuff, and you learn from experience. John, even though he's the most accomplished champion that we've ever had, he's still young, and he's still learning, and he's still new to the sport. I think people need to give him a little bit more grace.
The only other thing I wanted to talk to you about was, Jones got a lot of heat, like you said, but there are a lot of big-name UFC guys that are turning down fights, like title shots. Are you kind of shocked by that?
Yeah, it blows my mind. You got these hungry guys that are just begging for it, and then am I shocked? No. Like Lyoto Machida is saying, no, I don't want to fight. They're making a lot of money at that point now, and prolonging the timeline, that little window of opportunity where you're making money, makes sense from a business standpoint. Does it stay true to the fight ethic of fighting when you're supposed to fight, whoever you're going to fight, whenever you're going to, Dana turned this into a business, and now that it is a business, he has to deal with the fact that he has athletes that are underpaid and have only a short pocket of opportunity to make money. And So I'm not going to throw stones at guys that turn down title fights, when they don't think it's the best opportunity for them.
Do you think when it was in the earlier stages, like the early 2000s, late 90s, it was more of a partnership, and now, like you say, it's more of a business?
Yeah, the guys, there were guys that fought for the love of fighting, and then there's there were guys that did it for the glory that it brought them, and then, there are guys that just wanted to demonstrate that they're the best martial artists on the planet. There's a lot of different motivators out there. Now, the promotion, when a promoter is like, at the end of the line is we're just going to make fights for us to make money. The bottom line is, why am I going to make a Stephan Bonner Anderson Silva fight is because that's going to sell pay-per-views. Or a Chris Weidman Anderson Silva might not. It doesn't make sense to me as a fighter, but I guess as a promoter it would. But thank God I'm never going to be a promoter, and I don't have to look at things through that tarnished glass.
Good stuff, man. Well, thanks for giving us the time. Do you want to throw out your Twitter?
Yeah, Tim Kennedy MMA is my Twitter, and I tweet a little out of control.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.